Welcome, one and all, to Umami Manga. I'm Petter, and this is James.
Hey!
And today we're talking about volume 28 of Jujutsu Kaisen. In this volume, it starts off with Kusakabe, Choso, Ino, and Yuji joining Higuruma in the fight against Sukuna. Higuruma is seemingly killed by Sukuna. Yuta and Rika join the battle with Sukuna after having finished off Kenjaku. Later on, Maki also joins the fray through a surprise attack on Sukuna. Eventually, Kusakabe becomes the only one left standing against Sukuna, so he takes Sukuna on alone, and the volume ends with Kusakabe defeated and Miguel revealing himself to Sukuna to seemingly oppose him next.
Yeah, talk about a deep cut. It's been a while since we've seen Miguel.
A long time, yeah. I had to look up his name.
I didn't even remember. I didn't even look at it. Yeah, I mean, this is This is one of the build-up volumes, like just a lot of fighting happening and just show that they really cannot do a whole lot to stop him. I mean, they're doing it as much as they can, but everything they do just seems to be counteracted or just chipping away, really. And they even talk about that at one point, although they're chipping away for a different purpose. But in reality, I feel like it's chipping away at Sukuna, trying to get to a point where he's on even ground with one of them at least.
Right.
But yeah, it's a race, it's a marathon, not a race. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Although a marathon is a race. What is that phrase? It's a marathon, not a sprint. I think that's what it is.
I have never heard that expression before.
Oh, okay. Well, I am English or American, so I should be saying these phrases correctly. But anyway, so I'll stop talking. Please take it away.
Before we get into the character discussions, I just wanted to kind of clarify a thing that I don't remember if the both of us were under this assumption last time, or maybe it was just me, but at the end of the previous volume, I know that at least I misinterpreted and thought that Sukuna was somehow able to confiscate Higuruma's executioner's sword.
Oh.
I don't remember exactly how I came to that conclusion, but I was kind of under that assumption, thinking that, like, this is terrible. And obviously it would have been. Luckily, that wasn't quite the case. I mean, things still didn't go great, but at least Sukuna wasn't wielding the executioner's sword, because that could have been pretty bad.
Wild. That worked out at least. Yeah.
And I guess without further ado, let's talk about Ryomen Sukuna. So he was finding himself bothered by his opponents, that they were dedicated to an ideal when he himself has never really had any ideals at all. And apparently they reminded him of someone that he knew 1,000 years ago. Someone, as far as I understood it, someone who was weaker than him, but who was still able to best him through strong willpower. I'm not entirely sure if I interpreted that correctly, but that's apparently why Yuji irritates him, because he knows from having inhabited the same flesh as Yuji that Yuji's ideal is to be unbreakable, and he has this strong willpower. So maybe that's why he's getting unsettled by Yuji in this moment.
Yeah, and he's specifically talking about Yuji being the one that's irritating him for his ideal. It's interesting that he's willing to fight most any of them. Some are, kind of pushovers, but others he finds, this is actually kind of interesting, kind of fun. But when it comes to Yuji, he's just completely off put by it. He's like, oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Not even really giving him time of day, although he does fight back. And that's what makes it so interesting for Sukuna, because he's like, I feel like I should be enjoying this, but why am I not? What's wrong with me? So I feel like this is something that's hinting or leading to something that's going to happen with his backstory, as you said. Someone that Yuji reminds him of someone that he knew 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
and I'm not saying exactly we're going to find out who that person is, but I think we are going to learn more about Sukuna and why something with ideal would bother him, or why Yuji specifically bothers him. I feel like that'll be important for the ending of this fight.
Definitely. It was also like as a side thing, I thought it was also interesting to learn that Sukuna has never had any or held any ideals himself, because he's always, or at least for a very very long time, at the very least, been just the strongest one around. Like, and with all that power, he hasn't had the need for ideals simply.
Yeah, fair.
So that's pretty crazy.
I'm really curious what the Japanese word here. Well, I guess I'm not curious enough to look it up, but I wonder what the Japanese word here, because just using the ideal in English, it just kind of doesn't really make sense as a concept. It's like you have you mean purpose? Do you mean
Fair.
something you live for? A principle? Like what exactly do you mean by ideal?
That's right. True. It's a bit of a vague word.
Yeah. And maybe that's the point, for it to be vague. It seems like this manga is just vague, the manga, but it just seemed like an interesting word choice, because I almost feel like inherently he would have some sort of ideal. But then again, he is this being that has no match, so maybe I just can't comprehend it really.
Yeah.
In that sense. But regardless, I think that is something that will definitely come back in the long run, because his fight with Yuji is definitely not over.
Oh, for sure not. Yeah, nah. They'll meet again. And Sukuna was given the authority to activate the merger with Tengen and humankind.
Yeah. Dude, he ate Tengen. Did you see that?
Wait.
It's easy to miss because he does it out of order. So there's a moment where the culling game spirit thing changes the rule, and Sukuna eats something. You're like, what was that about? Then the next chapter, you see Kenjaku escape. He's the one that changes the rule, and then he shoots Tengen towards Sukuna.
Oh.
And then it goes on.
What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out. Okay, so he has consumed Tengen.
I don't know why he did that like that, but
I mean,
yeah.
I don't think this means Tengen is dead.
Yeah.
I think Tengen is still able to somehow be alive in some capacity. But it's still, yeah, that's interesting. Was that a condition for him being able to have this authority to activate the merger? I wonder.
Maybe. I mean, I think you gotta have Tengen in order to like have him in your possession.
Yeah.
In order to have that merger happen, because if say Yuta had gotten Tengen from Kenjaku, then maybe it just wouldn't have been possible.
Right. Yeah, that's very interesting. But it's also interesting that based on what we know about Sukuna, it doesn't really feel like it doesn't really feel like he would want to go through with the merger necessarily. Like, I feel like,
yeah.
At least if the merger means that all of humankind is merging with Tengen, and thus humankind will cease to be, then there are no humans left for Sukuna to be entertained by for his remaining days alive, which, that's kind of what he relies on for entertainment, is fighting humans.
Yeah.
Still, he did claim that he will go through with the merger after he's done killing everyone in the culling game.
Right.
And maybe that's just to set some press on the protagonists.
Well, I think the merger, in order for that to happen, I think everyone in the culling game has to die first.
Yeah.
I think that's still a requisite. And I think he's just okay with, yeah, fine, whatever. I'll kill everybody, do the merger, and then let's see what happens. Maybe there'll be someone that's pretty decent after that somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does seem a little out of character, maybe. Although this man is also pretty chaotic, so
Yeah.
maybe not so. But it was a little surprising for him to be totally chill with that.
I wondered if he only said that as like a threat of sorts, or like a way to like get all the fighters to come to him, because
Interesting.
Because by saying that, then obviously everyone is pushed to kill him as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And that he just said it in order to kind of make that happen potentially, but I don't know.
I mean, who's to say that if he were to kill everybody in the culling games, he'd be like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
Personally, I doubt it's gonna get to that point anyway. There's no way everyone is dying who's in the culling games.
Yeah, no.
I just don't see that happening in this story.
It would be way too bleak.
Yeah. Something that happened earlier in the volume with the fight with I think it was Higuruma. Someone was talking about his different techniques, the slash and the cleave.
Ah, that was Kusakabe.
Oh, it was Kusakabe. He points out that he's not using his fire technique for whatever reason. And that's an interesting thing to point out, because it's true. That's a technique we haven't seen since I guess, gosh, when was the last time we saw that? It's been a long time.
Was it in Shibuya, or has he done it since?
It might be Shibuya. I don't know. It's such a powerful technique too. It's surprising that he's not using it. And so I don't understand what the qualifications for it are exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of his aces in the hole kind of thing. But regardless, I do feel that this is going to come up at some point, that he has this technique, whether he's saving it or not. But I am curious why he's not using it.
Yeah. And actually, that brings me to a point I was going to make about Sukuna potentially not really giving it his all, or probably not.
Yeah.
At least if we're taking Uraume's word for it, Sukuna is not going all out. Like he's kind of chilling, according to Uraume. So I guess that could be an explanation as to why he isn't using his like potentially most powerful technique.
Yeah, besides the his domain, but
true,
which he can't. I don't think he can use right now.
Yeah,
but this could be her hinting at that technique specifically, the fire one. That being said, it kind of frustrates me because there are multiple times in this volume where Sukuna is suddenly really excited about fighting someone. First it was Higuruma, and then it was Maki, and he got excited for both, and he was like, wow, like this is Higuruma. He's like, you're just as exciting a Gojo, and then Maki's like, oh, you're defying what jutsu is. And then Uraume is over there. He's not even trying. He's so bored. It's like, Uraume, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or maybe he is. I don't know. It just feels conflicting messages.
Definitely, for sure, and that's why it's hard to know for sure, obviously. But I did notice like there were at least a couple instances during the fights that the various characters were having with Sukuna in this volume where the good character is like clearly struggling hard, giving it their all, like they're like not having a good time, and you see Sukuna he's just smiling. He's just like he's not that challenged.
Yeah.
But he's having a good time nonetheless, it seems like.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. At the very least, I think those instances are clear examples of Sukuna not being as challenged by these characters as maybe we wish he would have been. And whether or not he's truly enjoying it, I guess it's hard to say. But he's smiling on it in a couple of those panels.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And I guess both could be true.
Could be.
And I don't think the author in this instance doesn't want to contradict himself. Or I don't think the author wants to contradict himself in this instance.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That it is what it is. I'm not gonna lose sleep on it, really.
No.
I think it's pretty evident that none of these guys individually, no matter how amazing we may have thought or came to know, or just randomly suddenly Kusakabe becomes one of the strongest guys in the story. Like, okay, why not? But regardless, whoever you are, you're just no match for Sukuna.
No.
I mean, Gojo wasn't even a match for him.
Supposedly, yeah. Or seemingly. Or evidently, yeah.
Evidently. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. But anything else on Sukuna?
As we said, he continues to overlook Yuji, and I think he's gonna regret it.
Yeah. Right. In due time.
That's it.
Alright, then next I want to talk about Atsuya Kusakabe. Possibly the strongest grade 1 sorcerer.
Out of nowhere.
But I thought that was fun, actually, because like kind of the stuff we knew about him before this volume was that he obviously we knew that he was a grade 1 sorcerer, so we knew that he must have some kind of good abilities, but we also knew that he was someone who prefers to flee in dire situations rather than to fight.
Right.
So I thought it was fun to see him, of all people, be put in the position of being the only one left standing. And so that he was forced to make this choice between fight or flight, and so he chose to stand his ground and fight. And I thought that was pretty cool. And he really went all out.
Yeah.
Like, even continuing fighting even after his sword was broken. Like, it was I thought that was pretty epic.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good moment. Short-lived.
Yeah.
But a good moment.
Indeed. And that's all on him?
Yeah.
Then next, let's talk about Yuta Okkotsu.
Nice.
So, throughout this whole series, pretty much, I've been doing my best to keep track of the 20 Sukuna fingers. And I'm quite sure I pointed out in a recent discussion that only 19 out of the 20 fingers had been consumed up to that point, or up to this point. And
absolutely.
So I was very glad to learn in this volume that my math wasn't off, and that there was indeed one remaining, and that apparently Yuta had eaten that finger.
Wild.
In order to copy Sukuna's curse technique. that is wild, yeah.
How is he not possessed? Like, how did he not become a curse? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe Nika, the queen herself, maybe she was able to suppress it somehow.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, was it Rika who could have ate the ring, or not the ring? maybe she ate the finger, which would have helped him copy it.
That's interesting. Haven't we talked about this before? About Rika eating?
Yeah.
In order to...
It's like unclear.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Right, we did discuss that at some point a couple volumes back. Whether maybe her eating people or parts of people allows him to copy their abilities. I wonder... Yeah, I hadn't thought of that for this instance, actually. But that is definitely a possibility.
I mean, with Yuta being the prodigy that he is, I guess maybe just straight up eating the finger himself, maybe he wouldn't get possessed.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea that Nika would eat it, and he gained that copy ability, and thus he would not be in danger of that.
I feel like it makes the most sense for it to be Rika, but yeah, I could buy it to be him literally also, but yeah.
Also, I love how Sukuna calls Nika the queen.
Yeah.
Like, even he kind of respects, whether jokingly or not.
For sure.
Like, that's some respect right there.
Absolutely. Anything else on Yuta?
Is that the first time we've seen his domain?
I think so.
Yeah, we got an explanation for it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like the Pokemon move Metronome, where you activate the move and you don't know what move you're going to get, but you have a lot of pool of moves to choose from, and so it was really cool how they were able to capture Sukuna in his domain and just bombard him with different kinds of curse techniques that he collected, just randomly, but also able to plan it out in the way where the perfect curse technique was unleashed at the right time, and that was really cool.
For sure.
Kind of upsetting it didn't work.
Right. Yeah, they had so many well thought out plans that like all just didn't work out, and I thought that made it super exciting, this volume.
Yeah. Well, and part of that, I mean, this isn't really, I don't really have this in any discussion, so I'm just gonna bring it here. Part of that is just because Megumi doesn't want to come out.
Right.
You know, he's just so.
He's kind of just given up hope, or.
Right. Exactly. He's given up hope to the point where, even though they've finally reached him, he's just like, "Leave me alone. I'm done. I have no reason to live anymore."
Man, right.
Which
rough.
It's rough. It's rough, and so it felt like that plan probably was going to work, but at the same time, it's like kind of realistic. Like it's hard to be optimistic at that moment.
His poor soul.
Yeah. That's all I have on Yuta.
Alrighty, then next let's talk a bit about Maki Zen'in. So yeah, she with her heavenly restriction did for the first time give Sukuna something to prove, which I think is a pretty huge thing for her to make Sukuna feel like he's got something to prove for the first time in his entire life, which has spanned like, several centuries. Whether Sukuna's way of Jujutsu or her way of the void, I guess, is more powerful.
Yeah.
And I guess he did prove that he was more powerful.
I guess. In the end.
Yeah.
But she flipped him, man. Like, like there's a moment where she just like totally takes him out, like Jujutsu, whatever. Like not Jujutsu, Jujutsu.
Oh yeah.
Martial arts is behind. But yeah, I guess that was kind of short lived. Longer than Kusakabe.
Yeah.
I kind of wish the fight with Maki was a little longer, but there's only so much time we can give to this, I suppose.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest parts in this volume. There was a lot of cool parts, though. I thought almost all of the like quote unquote duels that Sukuna had with the various characters were really cool. Like with Yuta, and then with Maki, and then with Kusakabe. I really loved all of those. But anyway, anything more on Maki?
No.
Then let's talk a little bit about Higuruma.
Yeah, they mentioned his talent is equal to Gojo's. Is that new? I don't remember that.
It's, to me, for some reason it felt familiar, but I could have just made that familiarity up. Regardless, it's fascinating that his talent level is that high. Obviously, his skill level isn't, but his talent is. So that is interesting.
Yeah. I remember them saying that he's just exceptional at picking this all up, and how it's taken him a short amount of time to become a talented sorcerer. I just didn't recall if they had mentioned the Gojo part at all, because that's a crazy comparison to make. Yeah. Even if it's not the skill level, the talent level, and he even wields his curse technique just as well as Sukuna, which is another thing. There's just like some of these characters that have, they're just as great as this, they're just as great as that, but they still get their butts kicked. What does it matter?
It's not enough.
I'm curious if he died after passing the sword to Yuji, which, by the way, was a super cool moment.
Yeah.
And how that planned out. I mean, just another one of those crazy good fights.
Definitely.
Feels like it didn't really do a whole lot, or I guess it did something. They took away something. I forget what it was. Let's see. Supreme Martial Solution. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it did something. and Higuruma's sacrifice wasn't in vain necessarily. But I'm curious if he's still alive. At the very least, they transported his body out of there.
Exactly. And like, speaking of that, like, yeah, Ui came up and like grabbed everybody that fell, and that made it really hard to know for anyone, really. Are they dead or are they alive?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I do, in Higuruma's case, I feel mostly that he sadly probably died, though.
Yeah.
That because, for one, Sukuna said that he killed him, or he did say something like that. At least Sukuna is under the impression that he killed him. And I feel like Sukuna knows his stuff when he talks about killing people. And also how the sword disappeared in Yuji's hand.
True.
Felt to me like maybe that symbolized that Higuruma was dead. But yeah, we can't know for sure, obviously. But I think he's the one I feel the strongest about probably being dead.
Agreed. Another point I'll add to that is throughout this last few volumes, Higuruma has mentioned basically that he doesn't want to live because he feels he's doesn't deserve it. You know, his justice is the punishment for everything he's done.
Yeah.
So I feel this was an inevitability that he would die. Not that I wanted to see it, but I just felt that he was looking to sacrifice himself in some way.
Right.
That's all I have on Higuruma.
Okie dokie. Then I just have a little bit of a silly thing on Yuji Itadori. Okay. It is how Sukuna told him, "You're boring. You don't thrill me at all." And I felt like, I bet that's how some readers feel about Yuji too.
You're not wrong. For those listening, we've had some comments, and you're welcome to comment and say whatever you like. I mean, don't be mean, but you know, to basically say how, man, Yuji's not even the main character at this point. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I've heard that quite often. It feels the love or the admiration people had for Yuji at the beginning of the story, or you know, even in the middle of it, has waned. It's
definitely
gone at this point.
Right, and I don't think it's quite justified, but I do see where people are coming from with that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, Akutami has written several characters far more interesting than Yuji.
Yeah.
So I definitely see that. At the same time, though, I do still recognize Yuji as probably the number one main protagonist of this series. He just hasn't quite proven it yet, but I think he will by the end of the story.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable.
Uh-huh.
Personally, there's no way that he's not taken, or at least part of the final blow on Sukuna.
Yeah.
Oh, you already mentioned it way earlier, but his superpower is unbreakable.
Yeah.
He's Bruce Willis. No.
Yes.
No, but it's true. He kind of has the shonen protagonist's superpower of having the unbreakable will to keep going.
Indeed.
No matter what.
And there's our sign that he is the protagonist.
Yeah, there you go. See? That's all I have on him.
Same. Then let's talk a little bit about Uraume. And I just have a thing that there was a page between two of the chapters in this volume that explained that Uraume was originally a man, but when he came back in a new body in present day, it was in the body of a woman named Shiori Hime.
Oh.
Like that has never been outright explained in the manga itself.
No.
But I figured I needed to mention it here, since I imagine it's like a volume exclusive piece of information.
Yep. That it was.
So now we know that.
That makes a lot of sense now, because earlier there was indications that it was almost Uraume was androgynous, or you know, it was unsure whether she was a man or woman. But that makes a whole lot more sense.
But yeah, did you have any other characters you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, just one more, and it's really just an aside. I think Takaba is actually dead. There was one little panel of him still on the ground. I
Yeah,
mean,
I know.
I think he's dead.
Oh, I
I think he's
know.
dead, man.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
wanna. I don't wanna accept it, but I kind of have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is a slim chance he could be alive somehow.
Yeah.
Especially since Uwe hadn't come to take Utah yet. But the fact that he's not awake after whatever Kenjaku was doing, um, I feel like he's he's gone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It was a noble end.
it was. It was.
Well, I have one final character that I want to bring up because it's just a super silly little thing. So Kusakabe mentions himself and someone named Usami or Usami as not the strongest grade 1 sorcerer. In that, like, the little interview thing where people were asked who's the strongest grade 1 sorcerer, and Kusakabe just said it's not me and it's not Usami. And we've never met a character named Usami. And that was all. Like, that was the only mention of this name in this volume, and as far as I know, the name has never appeared in the previous volumes. But there were a couple of between chapter pages that kind of did mention Usami a bit. There was one where Gojo just says, "I hate that guy," and there was another one where Mei Mei says, "It isn't necessary to remember that," when she was asked who Usami is.
What?
Yeah. And then Kusakabe says that Usami only obeys orders from above and only does what he's told, and that's why he doesn't get along with Gojo and with Mei Mei. And then, like, the very last page, like, there's a little extra page after the final chapter in this volume, there is an illustration of Usami with a note that says, "No plans to appear."
Huh.
And that's all.
Okay.
So he's just this weird, just one-time name drop in the actual manga, and then he got like multiple little between chapter pages throughout this volume.
What the freak, man?
Very weird thing, but I thought it was kind of funny.
I mean, look, I guess in real life, there's going to be people that you hear mentioned but never actually meet.
Yeah.
That's fine, I guess. But this is a story, man. You can't just name someone who's in a higher ranking of your power tier and just say, "Oh, they're not going to appear ever." Like, what? Doesn't make sense. It's kind of idiotic. I mean, I'll take it as a joke. That's how
I think we gotta, like,
rather than him being serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'll do it.
That's what I think we need to do. But with that all done, I think we are ready to hop into predictions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty, then I guess first I want to go through the various characters that were defeated by Sukuna in this volume, and we'll talk, like, just see, do we think they're alive, do we think they're dead, like, do we think they'll make it or not. We already talked about Higuruma most likely being actually dead. I think we both agree on that. I think Ino, the guy, what's his name, something Ino.
Yeah.
What do we think about him?
I think he's alive.
I think so too. Then we had obviously both Yuta and Maki. I feel like none of them could have died, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If they would die, it would have to be grander or clearer. Like,
yeah, it would have to be almost a Gojo type of, confirm that he's dead.
Definitely, like, those are too big a characters to just kill off in this kind of way.
Yeah.
And what do you think of Kusakabe?
Kusakabe is a little torn on because
Yeah.
you can easily kill him off and have that be, a blow to the reader. It's like, oh, he was, you know, he had all this happen and he wasn't really giving Sukuna much of a fight, but he was showing he was strong.
Yeah.
But then again, he's made it out or made it alive to this point from this he introduced in the Shibuya arc, I think.
I think so too, yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of feel like he is going to live, just be severely injured and not really play a role at all, just be healing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my hope kind of for him because I don't want him to be dead. So I definitely hope that he is alive. But I agree with you that he probably won't like have another big fight in the series.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ui seems to have been able to teleport out of Sukuna's way just in time.
Well, Miguel is holding him.
Oh, was he? I totally missed that.
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Ah, he is. He's down there.
There you are.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
So that's nice at least.
I don't know if he got hit at all. I think he looks to be fine. I don't know if he's unconscious or not, but he looks to be fine.
Yeah. He's got like a sweat drop, which feels like I feel like that's a good sign. Like he's just like shook a bit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that would be a huge blow if he had gotten Yui.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, precisely.
Still around.
Plus, I also like because you can see like the ground where Sukuna attacked Yui. You can see like the slash marks, but like there's no blood there. Mm-hmm. So I feel
good
like
point.
He's probably fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. I'm quite sure in other speculations that Yuji and Choso will catch up with Sukuna next volume and continue the fight.
Oh yeah, and then predicting deaths, I think Choso is gonna bite the dust. I think that is the future of Choso's character, unfortunately.
I think you may be right.
But it is going to rapidly strengthen Yuji and give him further motivation.
That would be awesome.
On Sukuna.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that
because
a lot.
I think right now, I think Yuji does see Choso as an older brother.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Or if not a mentor, because one thing we didn't mention is that Yuji is learning how to use the reverse curse technique more so than he was before, and his kind of seemingly his mentor in this is Choso, telling him, "Hey, you gotta focus," or I forget exactly his advice on how to properly do it, but you have to find where the injury is in your body and then focus on there.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling like that could be a death that is impactful, both emotionally and then also motivating.
For sure. I like that.
Although I don't want to see him die.
Yeah, it's like me neither, because he's one of my favorite characters. But I definitely feel like there could come a lot of good stuff from it.
Do you think Toto's gonna make an appearance?
That would be amazing.
It's been a while.
It's been too long. Honestly, because I was thinking because in this volume we saw so many big characters fall. And I was thinking, like, who else could show up now that all of these are either dead or severely injured?
My brother!
Yeah.
Just comes out of nowhere.
Right, like, let him, just bring back some people that we haven't seen in a while. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And we also have the Kinji Ryomen front, which obviously only got a brief scene in this volume. Yeah. I feel like that fight needs to progress in the next volume.
It's a good point. I almost wonder if it won't, in that they're just going to be landlocked or in a standstill until Sukuna goes down, and then Uraume is gonna be like, "Well, I give up. I'm done. You win."
That would be a bit
Because at
lame.
this point, at this point, Kinji is just kind of keeping Uraume preoccupied.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because you would love to see him fight Sukuna, right? So I don't know. It's an interesting choice, but I guess someone's got to, if not defeat Uraume, keep her out of it.
Right. I mean, for the protagonists, that's good. Like either killing
Yeah.
or occupying, like or preoccupying, is good. But I'm thinking from Uraume's perspective, like Uraume needs to or has got to know that he's stalling or like I
Well,
feel
I
like
think she does.
right, and so it doesn't make sense that Uraume would allow that. I feel like right or
I don't know if it doesn't make sense because I think she understands that Kinji is a pretty chaotic and big annoyance. I mean, granted, Sukuna wants to fight the all sorts of sorcerers, but I don't know. I think Uraume's mind, it doesn't matter that she sees Sukuna fight the strongest.
mm,
I think maybe she just doesn't want him to die.
yeah, yeah, fair.
But also, I think Kinji has gotten to the point where basically keeping her away, keeping her from escaping or helping at all.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
however he's doing it, but anyway.
Yeah, it just seems a bit I don't know out of character for this manga to not make this into a big old fight. I don't know.
I guess so. Well, there's what, two more volumes? Or
Yeah,
is it one more? Two. It's two more.
two more.
So there's definitely a chance for that to be addressed, and most likely in this next one, I feel like the final one would be more Sukuna focused.
Exactly. That's why I definitely think, assuming that there will be a fight here, it needs to happen next volume.
Yeah. I talked earlier about Megumi and how uh, just downtrodden and hopeless he feels right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I've said in the past that I thought Megumi would help them out but die in the end. And I've mulled over that.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Megumi is going to help them out somehow. I don't think he's popping out of Scoot anytime, but I feel like he has to fight back in some way. What I'm less unsure of is actually whether he's gonna die or not.
Yeah.
And I guess that would mean that he would come out of the body, but I almost or out of Schooner, they would separate the two. But I almost feel like maybe the fact that we're seeing Megumi at his lowest low is that he's preparing us to for the hype of him turning a new leaf and actually surviving.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It feels like it could be being set up for that. But I at the same time, like it would kind of be beautifully tragic if Megumi was to fight back, but had to sacrifice himself in order to kill Skuna. It would just add to Yuji's tragedy.
Precisely. And like that was like the whole thing that was set up at the start of the manga
Yeah.
for Yuji to be the one to do it. And obviously right now it's not necessarily looking like it, but well actually but since 19 of the fingers are in Megumi, one finger is in well Yuta or Rika. So like the plan that was established at the start of the series was to get all 20 fingers into one person, and the plan then was Yuji,
True.
and then have that person die, and thus the fingers would be destroyed permanently.
Yeah.
So we still don't have all of the fingers collected in one body. So I feel like and since we know that fingers can be transferred as they were from Yuji to Fushiguro, honestly anything could happen. They could all 20 could end up back in Yuji for all we know.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
And then Yuji kills himself.
Yeah, right. And I think honestly, if that were to happen, if he would find himself with all 20 fingers within him and with control over his body, I think he would instantly just kill himself. Or well, or maybe not instantly, but pretty quickly. Pretty easily. I think he is that dedicated.
But here's a counterpoint to your argument bringing up the beginning of the story. Yes, that was established at the beginning. But the other thing that was established is that his grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
like I stopped at grandfather. His grandpa asked him to not die alone, to die surrounded by friends. Basically, don't live without people in your life. And I guess he could still technically die with friends around him if he has all the fingers.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Keeping that in mind, having Megumi die would go against that because that's his best friend.
Mm.
I don't know. So now I'm kind of on the fence of, or leaning more towards that he survives somehow, or Megumi specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be interesting if we go right back to plan A.
Yeah.
Yuji eating all the fingers and
and
then dying.
And he would die surrounded by friends if that were to happen.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and especially if they got Megumi out.
Yeah, definitely. Then yeah,
separated. I guess that would be part of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, this volume and this discussion has been very exciting.
I agree.
I mean, this whole ending arc with how Gojo comes back and everything. I think we've enjoyed that part, or at least this part of the arc.
Mm-hmm. But I assume that's all for the speculations and predictions.
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Same. Then, well, there's just one more thing. Who's the star of the volume?
I mean, so many characters shined, or at least 3 or 4 of them shined individually, and then Sukuna just kind of slapped them. But I'm not gonna give it to Sukuna because he didn't particularly amaze me either. I mean, yes, he's just always amazing, but there was nothing really new or made me think, oh, this guy is the reason why I love this volume. So not giving a tie, because I could give a tie, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to pick one, and I'm picking Yuta, just because we saw his domain expansion, and we learned that he somehow consumed the finger and copied Sukuna's power or technique, which I thought was a really cool reveal.
Definitely.
So that he's my star for this volume.
Nice. That's an excellent pick. My pick is Atsuya Kusakabe, because, well, I think this volume, he was present more or less throughout the whole thing. Like, I liked how the volume kind of starts off with his monologues, like his thought monologue, analyzing Sukuna, and then at the end, he's like the last one to be fighting him. So I kind of felt like as a whole, he was kind of there, and as I was saying earlier, I loved the whole thing where he was struggling with whether he should retreat or fight on, and he chose to fight on, and that was just a blast to see. And I like how, like, even though he is one of the most powerful fighters out there, he's like, he doesn't see that himself, and I don't know, I think that's a pretty nice trait.
Yeah, it's charming.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, that's why I picked him for this volume.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think my issue is he's while he was introduced in Shibuya and had a little bit, it felt he was just so late in the game, and I just got tired of all these new characters coming in, and we get a little bit of backstory for him in this volume, which is needed for a character, but
for sure,
it's like I almost just like, okay, whatever, like, sure, strongest grade whatever sorcerer, like, fantastic. Oh, he gets slapped by Sukuna. Oh, who could have saw that? That's my complaint. But that being said, I think he's still a good character. Putting my cynicism aside, or my cynical side aside, I do see where you're coming from, and I agree that he definitely was one of the highlights of this volume.
Sweet. But yeah, so was Yuta, and so was Maki, and so was Higuruma, and yeah, there really was a lot.
my tie was technically between Yuta, Maki, and Higuruma, but fair. I could have put Kusakabe there as well.
Yeah, And I'd say, yeah, Yuta and Maki were really close to me as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. Lovely. And yeah, now there's only 2 more volumes.
Yeah.
So yeah, finishing this series next year.
Yeah, next year.
So stoked. Well, if you enjoy our podcast, please share it with your friends. You'll find links to our social media in the description, and you can support us by rating our show on the podcast platforms and subscribing to our channel, Umami Manga, on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time when we'll talk about Volume 29. Bye-bye!
See you later! Pauline for Smash. Like that's what I want. Pauline for Smash.
Yeah, and Waluigi too.
That's not gonna happen.
No.
I want it so bad, but it's not.
It's not.